Good afternoon, and thanks for joining SMTV today. I'm Duncan Gilman.
And I'm Jamie McCook.
We have to start off with the big news here, the breaking news. We have a social media story about Facebook Mobile, but we gotta just dive in right to the new addition to see Pages posts.
Oh, the Pages feed?
The Pages feed.
That
is
is
huge.
very interesting. I'm a little confused about it still, and I'm kind of hoping they give us more information about how it's actually set up. Because I'm still getting, the feed for all my companies that I actually interact with, and it's supposed to be broken down, right, into a separate page.
Well, supposedly what's happening, and we're seeing this roll out already, is on Facebook. There's now a particular button where you can see all the posts of the pages that you like, which is great because Facebook users are starting to see some brand fatigue. It kind of relates to the story about Mark Cuban that we were talking about yesterday on the show, where he's pulling his brands off of Facebook because it's too much trouble to try to get your message in front of people, and you're turning your community off.
Right, and for people, this Pages requested this. The companies wanted this extra side, button to click on.
Supposedly, yeah.
But I don't know if I'm ever really going to use it. Why? It's just an extra step for me to go see all the promoted posts, like for me.
And it's nice to have a separate silo so I can see all my friends in my main newsfeed. And if I want to see posts by these great brands that I follow, I go over to the Pages feed. But when I saw it today, I'm still seeing Pages in my normal feed. So I guess it's the same way it was before, in that if I interact with a page, I'm still going to see it.
Right. So what's the real difference? What's the change? Is
right.
what
what's
I'm
the
waiting
big
for.
change besides this just extra button to see more posts?
Right. I'm wondering if they're going to take it away eventually from the regular news feed. But then what really entices companies to post?
Right.
Because you have to go to that extra button on the side.
And where do ads go? Or ads? I assume ads are going to go in the main news feed, not the Pages feed, because I can't imagine brands would pay to go over there.
Right. And for Facebook, that may be a good ploy, because they can, promoted posts will actually go on the news feeds, so they're going to maybe more people will start paying for promotions as opposed to just doing normal ones.
Yeah. Well, so this other story, the one that we were going to start off with first, is kind of cool too. People have been asking for so long for a share button on mobile, because most people are logging in to Facebook on their phone or tablet now anyway.
Right.
So it makes total sense that they would finally add, in addition to a like and a comment button, a share button on mobile.
And for me, that's very similar to the retweet. It just makes it really simple. You just click it. If you want to add your text, just add it, and it posts right away.
And this actually is a huge benefit to businesses, because now, as a business, you don't have to worry about, oh, I can't say share because they don't have a share button. Now you can relax and you can say, share this, or you can incorporate that and solicit a response without worrying that people on their phones won't be able to actually take that action.
Absolutely. I love it. I've already used it twice, probably, since it came out.
Oh, nice.
So
very cool.
It works very well.
Oh, good. We want to know how your social media campaigns are going. Are you getting what you want out of them? If you have a question about Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, your blog, Pinterest, let us know.
You can email us your questions to questions@splashmediau.com, or you can tweet them to us by using the hashtag SMTVQuestions.
Let's take some questions from our viewers. Nan would like to know, how come I get tweets on my timeline from people I'm not following?
That's an awesome question.
It is.
I used to think that whenever I first started using Twitter. I found out the most common one is retweets. If someone, if Duncan had a friend that saw my tweet, they could just retweet it and it's going to show up. The other one would be the promoted tweets. So if a company goes on and promotes a tweet, then it's going to pop up on yours.
Right, because they're paying for a certain target audience. And I pulled up my Twitter feed here, and you can see an example of a promoted tweet, this one promoted by Best Buy. I will scroll down. I may not be able to see. Oh, here's a retweet. So I might not be following Hootsuite, but if I'm following LinkedIn, this tweet will still show up. So this is a good way to check that first example you used of a retweet, because it'll say down here who retweeted it.
So we're probably going to be seeing a lot of the promoted ones, because Black Friday is next weekend. So next Friday.
True, very
so
true.
be prepared for all those promoted posts to be popping up.
Yeah, you might see a lot more.
Corey wrote to us, what are some good Facebook campaign ideas for Thanksgiving?
Well, a lot of campaigns we've seen start at the beginning of the month, so it's a little late for that, but you could still do like a week of what you're thankful for. You could do maybe a I'm thankful for post every day leading up to Thanksgiving, maybe some turkey recipes, some Thanksgiving recipe, maybe like a contest. That might work.
Right. You could also do something with a charity. For every like or share you get, you can donate like X amount of money. That's a good way, because people always want to give back during the holidays.
And I think it's a great time to tap into the generosity of your fans and your community, because it's the holiday season and people want to give back. So it's a great way to encourage a certain action without coming across as salesy at all, because my brand is out here in the community lending a hand.
For sure. It could even go with products that you're selling. You know, you could say a portion of the donations go to X charity.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Because that sells your stuff, plus you're giving back, and you look like the good guy.
Absolutely. I like all those. Ginger wants to know, I only have 2 hours a week for social media. That's not a lot.
No.
How should I spend my time?
That is a very small amount of time. I guess my biggest thing, if you only have that amount of time, definitely use that time interacting and engaging with your followers, because that's like the biggest thing. If you're not going to be talking to them, they're eventually going to stop, contacting you and following you and all that.
Right. Yeah. I totally agree. And once you have some extra time, some extra resources, then great, have a blog, create some videos. But it's that step of, I've got to be the best, I've got to offer the best customer service I possibly can. I've got to talk to my customers, have to talk to potential customers. That's what's going to keep that soul in your brand. That's what's going to keep you human as a brand, because it's so easy to let the stuff slide and be this sort of this big third-party brand, when you really need to be human and interact.
Yeah, I mean, if I wrote a company, and I didn't hear back for like a week or two, I'd be like, okay, do you really care about, your people, or, are you just here to, do nothing?
Yeah, that's the first priority.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Jackson wrote to us, what do you think about pay-per-click?
It's a little tricky. I would make sure that you have someone on your team who's very familiar with PPC. Depending on what you want to use. If it's Google AdWords, it's great. It can really help drive some traffic, and it's really an important part of your social media marketing strategy. You've got the paid side and you've got the organic side, and those can go hand in hand really well. But you have to know what you're doing in order to get the most out of it. Right.
That's great advice. You don't want to just jump in, because then you're just going to end up wasting your money and wasting your time. So definitely, I like that.
It's very helpful. I did a little search here for Dallas Plumbing, and you can see what kind of results you can get. You've got the paid stuff here up at the top and over here on the side. And if you know exactly the terms you're looking for, exactly the target audience, you know what placement you want, if you know all those details, it can be really helpful and you can really get a lot out of it. But again, you just have to know those things before you get into it.
Right. It's a great way to, connect with certain people. You can target, X amount of people, in this area and this, age range. It's perfect if you know what you're doing. So.
I want to thank you for joining us this Thursday afternoon. Thank you for sending in those awesome questions, and keep them coming. For Splash Media, I'm Duncan Gilman.
And I'm Jamie McCook. Have a wonderful day.